It's a great honour to be here today, and on behalf of the Federal Opposition, it is a privilege and a pleasure to welcome Your Majesties to the Australian Parliament. It's testimony to your recovery in Sydney, and today at the War Memorial, and indeed here in this hall, in this eclectic gathering, people have had haircuts, people have shined shoes, suits have been pressed, and that's just the Republicans. As we know, Your Majesty, you are, and we also know that your own spirit has been strengthened by the constant support of your wife and Queen. Your Majesty, our Queen, of the many qualities Australians see in you, there is none stronger than the love you have for your husband and king. Upon your return home, Your Majesties, I know that if Elizabeth was the Queen Australia came to know you, Your Majesty, are the King Australia already knows. And we know your long-standing connection with the Australian Defence Force. I join with the Governor-General and the Prime Minister in congratulating you on your appointment to the highest honorary ranks in our Navy, Army and Air Force.
Prime Minister and Ms Hay, President of the Senate and Mr Lambert, Speaker of the House of Representatives, High Commissioners and Ambassador, Leader of the Opposition and Mrs Dutton, Honourable Members, Auntie Val, on behalf of the Ngunnawal people and the Wiradjuri Heckled, ladies and gentlemen, I really am enormously touched by those very kind welcomes and by your invitation, Prime Minister, to say a few words here in Parliament House, the national home of Australia's strong and vibrant democratic tradition. Let me also say how deeply I appreciated this morning's moving welcome to country ceremony, which offers me the opportunity to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet, the Ngunnawal people and all First Nations peoples who have loved and cared for Strongford for 65,000 years. Throughout my life, Australia's First Nations peoples have done me the great honour of sharing so generously. This was a feeling which I know she returned in equal measure. My own first visit came in 1966, as the Prime Minister you mentioned, when I had indeed the life-shaping and life-affirming opportunity to continue part of my education in Victoria. And, ladies and gentlemen, what an education it was. I had thought that the school I had been attending in Scotland was remote and testing enough, but nothing had quite prepared me for the realities of the bush country around Mount Buller. All I can say is that I arrived as an adolescent and left as a more rounded, if not even somewhat chiseled, character once I had contended with brown snakes, leeches, funnel web spiders and bullets. And bearing in mind, this was very nearly 60 years ago, being given certain unmentionable parts of a bull calf to eat from a branding fire in Outback, Queensland, by the hauntingly evocative cries of the kookaburra, the screeching of the goat, and that Australia has become a stronger nation as a result of becoming one of the most multicultural on earth. Today, with all due recognition of the impacts of the global cost of living crisis, Australia's economic growth has been remarkable. And this is a country which, for all its size and diversity, never omits to look out. Australia has offered and continues to offer so much to the world. The character of this country and its people is hardly more vivid than when both are tested by disaster. The Black Summer of 2019 and 2020, the relentless floods of 2022 and 2023, tropical cyclones Jasper and Kirrily in 2023 and 2024, and of course so many more. I cannot tell you how much I have felt the grief and shock of what you have gone through, having visited many of those communities myself over all these years. Amidst such overwhelming challenges, I have always been deeply impressed by the extraordinary bravery and resilience of those who look out, and in that most Australian way, battle on. The way, for instance, in which firefighters, police, emergency services, defence personnel, and many thousands of volunteers risk their lives to stand by their mates, neighbours, and strangers, not to mention livestock and property, represents to me the essence of the Australian character, and the magnitude and ferocity, as well as their frequency. They are new. The regular role. This is why Australia's international leadership on global initiatives to protect our climate and biodiversity is of such absolute and critical importance. Indeed, the world's first Global Nature Positive Summit was held in Sydney in the past autumn, and I am increasingly encouraged by the private sector's efforts to help turn the tide. Australia has all the natural ingredients to create a more sustainable, regenerative way of living. By harnessing the power with which nature has endowed the nation, whether it be wind or its famous sunshine, Australia, it has the diversity to understand the world's problems and the sheer brain power and resolve to formulate practical solutions. I need hardly say that I'm looking forward to joining leaders in Apia shortly to support their work. Here in Australia, meanwhile, my wife and I will have the great privilege of meeting remarkable scientists, entrepreneurs, and community leaders who are paving the way in environmental management or healthcare, addressing domestic and family violence, promoting literacy and literature, and helping young Indigenous Australians to realise their full potential. I cannot begin to express how pleased we are to be here again, nor how sad I am that it has to be so short on this occasion. When we turn our steps homeward, we will carry memories of friendships renewed, of new ones forged, and of the characteristic warmth and inimitable humour of Australians, which you share with those who are fortunate enough to know you.
Give us what you stole from us! Our bones, our skulls, our babies, our people! You destroyed our land! Give us a treaty! We want a treaty in this country! You are a genocide!
Sticks.